Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. I'm Dennis Goddard.
And I'm Louise Hicks.
Today we are diving deep into something truly mind-bending personal transformation based on the principles of quantum physics.
Yeah.
You know, we hear all the time that change is a slow, arduous process, right? Years of therapy, strict diets, intense meditation.
Yeah.
It can feel like forever before we see results.
It's like we're conditioned to believe that real change takes a Herculean effort.
Exactly. But what if I told you that modern science is revealing a completely different story? We're talking about cases of radical transformation, multiple sclerosis, stage 4 cancer, even severe autism reversed in weeks or months.
It's remarkable, isn't it? And it's not just anecdotal.
Sure.
Leaders in the field like Dr. Joe Dispenza are documenting these incredible shifts, suggesting that we've barely scratched the surface of what's possible.
Yeah, it's almost like these individuals have tapped into a hidden power source. And honestly, it's more science than magic. What if the key to unlocking rapid, profound change lies in understanding that our bodies aren't just fixed machines, but dynamic quantum systems?
Ugh, there's that word again, quantum. Don't let it intimidate you. It's actually a pretty simple concept at its core. Think of it like this: at the most fundamental level, reality exists as a sea of possibilities, pure potential just waiting to take shape.
So instead of solid, unchanging matter, it's more like a constantly shifting wave of energy.
Precisely. And here's where it gets really interesting. Your consciousness, your awareness acts like a filter, collapsing those waves of possibility into the physical reality you experience.
So let me get this straight. If I'm constantly dwelling on negative thoughts, if I'm feeling stressed and anxious, I'm actually shaping my reality to match those feelings.
It's not about blame or judgment, but yes, your internal state has a direct impact on your external world. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You create more of what you focus on.
Okay, it's a powerful thought and honestly a little unsettling. But if we're constantly recreating our past because we're stuck in those negative patterns, how do we break free?
Yeah.
How do we actually change our internal state to create a different reality?
That's the million-dollar question. It all starts with understanding that real change happens from the inside out. Instead of waiting for external circumstances to change so we can finally feel good, we need to learn how to generate those positive feelings first.
So it's not about waiting for the promotion to feel happy. It's about cultivating happiness now to attract the promotion.
That's a great way to put it. And one of the most powerful tools we have for shifting our internal state is the power of feeling. This is where quantum physics really blows the lid off everything we thought we knew. Your nervous system, your body can't tell the difference between a real experience and one that you vividly imagine with emotion.
Wait, are you saying that if I can imagine something strongly enough, my body actually believes it's happening?
You got it. Dr. Dispenza talks about a woman who was wheelchair-bound for years, told she'd never walk again. She refused to accept that as her reality, so she started spending just 15 minutes every morning feeling what it would be like to walk again. Not just picturing it in her mind, but truly feeling the sensation of her legs, moving the strength in her muscles, the joy of taking those steps.
So she was essentially rehearsing her desired reality in her mind, and her body responded.
Exactly. Within a year, she was walking. Her doctors called it a miracle, but it was simply the power of her consciousness, her focused intention and emotion, literally rewiring her body.
That's incredible. So if our bodies can't distinguish between real and imagined experiences when we feel them intensely enough, that means...
It means we have the ability to reprogram our brains and bodies simply by changing how we feel. And that, my friend, is where things start to get really exciting. Stick with us, because in part 2, we're going to dive deeper into the mechanics of how this works.
You don't want to miss this. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment letting us know what you're thinking so far. We'll be back soon with part 2. Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. Last time we left off with a pretty mind-blowing concept that our bodies can't tell the difference between a real experience and one that we vividly imagine with emotion.
It challenges everything we've been taught about how reality works, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like the universe is playing a giant cosmic game of make-believe, and we're the ones calling the shots.
And if we're not conscious of the stories we're telling ourselves, we end up recreating the same old patterns, the same limitations over and over again.
So how do we break free from that cycle? How do we become conscious creators instead of unconscious reactors?
It starts with understanding the power of our emotions. Most people think of emotions as just reactions to what's happening around them, but quantum physics suggests that it's actually the other way around. Our emotional state is not just a result of our reality, it's the driving force that shapes our reality at the quantum level.
So it's not about waiting for things to get better so we can finally feel good. It's about feeling good first, even if our circumstances haven't caught up yet.
Precisely. Think about those people who just seem to attract success, abundance, and happiness effortlessly. It's not that they're lucky or have some secret advantage. They've simply mastered the art of generating those elevated emotions from within, regardless of their external circumstances.
So they're not waiting for something outside of themselves to make them happy. They're choosing to feel happy now. But how is that even possible when you're facing real challenges when life throws those curveballs?
It's a shift in perspective, a rewiring of our mental and emotional circuitry. Most of us live in this thought-to-feeling cycle. We think a thought, and then we experience the emotion that corresponds to that thought. For example, we get a promotion at work, and then we feel happy.
But you're saying we need to flip that script.
That's right. True masters of creation. Those who seem to effortlessly manifest their desires live in a feeling-to-thought reality. They generate the emotion first without needing any external validation. They choose to feel abundant, joyful, grateful, regardless of their current circumstances.
It's like they're tapping into an unlimited reservoir of positive energy, and then their thoughts and actions naturally align with that feeling. But if our thoughts create our reality and our feelings drive our thoughts, where does this feeling energy come from?
That's where things get really interesting. Dr. Dispenza often talks about the power of the heart. He's not just speaking metaphorically. The heart's electromagnetic field is thousands of times stronger than the brain's.
Wow, I never knew that. So when we feel deep gratitude, that heart energy is literally sending out a powerful signal to the universe.
Exactly. It's like tuning yourself to a different frequency, and just like a radio, you start attracting experiences that match that frequency.
Okay, that's pretty mind-blowing. So
Yes.
if we combine this powerful heart energy, this feeling of gratitude, with clear intentions, we become.
Quantum creators. Your thoughts are the electrical charge setting the intention for what you want to create. But it's your emotions, especially those heart-centered emotions, that provide the magnetic pull drawing that reality toward you.
Okay, now I'm starting to see how this all connects, but there's still a part of me that wants to ground this in something a little more tangible. How does this all tie into quantum physics?
It's more grounded in science than you might think. Remember how we talked about consciousness collapsing possibilities into reality? Well, quantum physics has proven that at the subatomic level, nothing is truly fixed until it's observed.
So you're saying that before we focus our attention on something, it exists as a wave of potential.
Right. It's like an infinite field of possibilities just waiting to be shaped. And the act of observation, the act of focusing our consciousness with expectation and emotion, is what collapses those waves into particles, into physical reality.
Wait, are you saying that our consciousness is actually influencing the behavior of matter?
That's exactly what the observer effect in quantum mechanics has shown. The mere act of observation changes how particles behave at the subatomic level, which means at a very fundamental level, our consciousness has a direct impact on the world around us.
Okay, that is mind-blowing. So every time I look at something, I'm actually participating in its creation.
In a way, yes. And even more so when you add intention and emotion to the equation, you're not just passively observing, you're actively shaping reality.
I'm starting to see how this all connects. So if I understand correctly, this means that the future I desire already exists as a possibility in the quantum field. And by focusing my attention and emotions on that future, I can literally pull it into my present experience.
That's a great way to put it. You're not creating something out of nothing. You're choosing a specific reality from the field of infinite possibilities.
Okay, this is where my brain starts to hurt a little.
Yeah.
You're telling me that the healthy, wealthy, successful version of me already exists somewhere in the quantum realm.
Exactly. It's not some fantasy or wishful thinking. It's a real possibility waiting to be collapsed into your reality.
But if all these possibilities already exist, why aren't we all living our dream lives? What's holding us back?
The biggest obstacle is that most people spend their lives dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. They miss the power of the present moment, which is the only place where transformation can truly happen.
The present moment. But isn't that fleeting? It feels like it's constantly slipping away.
It is fleeting, but it's also the key to everything. Think of it this way. The present moment is where you have the power to override those automatic programs from your past. It's where you can choose gratitude over anxiety, where you can affirm your new reality, where you can tap into the quantum field of infinite potential.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Uh-huh.
But how do our emotions playing into this? We were talking about the heart, about gratitude.
Remember those energy centers we talked about earlier, what some traditions call chakras? They're constantly responding to your thoughts and emotions in the present moment.
So if I'm constantly stressed and anxious, my energy gets stuck in those lower chakras, keeping me trapped in survival mode.
Exactly. You're basically reinforcing those old patterns, making it harder to break free. But when you shift into elevated emotions like gratitude, joy, and possibility, you activate those higher energy centers.
And that opens me up to inspiration, intuition, and transformation.
Precisely. It's like shifting from a black and white TV to a high-definition screen. The world becomes more vibrant, possibilities seem endless, and you're more receptive to guidance from your higher self.
This is all so fascinating. It's like you're giving me a whole new operating system for my life.
Think of it as an upgrade. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes to operate from this higher level of consciousness.
This is incredible stuff. We're just scratching the surface, though, right?
Right. We'll dive even deeper into the practical applications in part 3.
That's it for part 2 of our deep dive into personal transformation and quantum physics. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the final part of this incredible journey. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast for the final part of our deep dive into quantum physics and personal transformation.
We've explored some pretty mind-blowing concepts so far.
Yeah.
How our consciousness shapes reality, the power of feeling, the feeling-to-thought reality. It's a lot to take in, but honestly, it's so empowering to realize that we're not just victims of our circumstances.
Yeah,
We have the ability to create the life we want.
exactly. But now let's get practical.
Okay.
How do we actually apply these principles to create tangible changes in our lives?
Right, it's one thing to understand the theory, but how do we translate that into real-world results? What are the tools we can use to start living this quantum reality today?
Well, it's not about complicated rituals or expensive gadgets. It's about simple, consistent practices that help us align our energy with our desires.
Okay.
And one of the most fundamental practices is gratitude.
We touched on this earlier, but it's so important that it's worth exploring further. So gratitude isn't just about saying thank you for the good things in your life.
It's deeper than that. It's about cultivating a deep, heartfelt appreciation for everything, even the challenges. When you can find gratitude, even in the midst of difficulty, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance. You're literally rewiring your brain to focus on the positive.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we make gratitude a daily practice? Do we need to keep a gratitude journal or something?
Journaling can be helpful, but it's not the only way. The key is to find ways to integrate gratitude into your daily life. Start your day by feeling grateful for the simple things, like a warm bed,
Yeah.
a cup of coffee, or the ability to breathe.
And what about those times when it feels like everything is going wrong? How can you be grateful then?
That's when it becomes even more crucial. Remember, challenges are opportunities for growth. Instead of focusing on what's missing, try to find anything to be grateful for in that situation.
So even if I lose my job, I could be grateful for the opportunity to explore new possibilities.
Precisely. Or you could be grateful for the lessons you learned, the connections you made, or simply the fact that you're still alive and breathing. Gratitude is a muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it becomes.
Okay, so gratitude is a great starting point for shifting our energy. But what about creating more tangible changes? Like, how do I manifest my dream job or find my soulmate?
Remember the power of mental rehearsal. We talked about how our nervous systems can't tell the difference between a real experience and one we vividly imagine with emotion.
Right.
This is where we put that principle into action.
So if I'm visualizing my dream job, I wouldn't just picture myself sitting at a desk. I would feel the excitement of going to work, the satisfaction of using my skills, and the joy of collaborating with amazing colleagues.
Exactly. And don't limit yourself to just visualizing. Act as if you already have that job. Start dressing for the role,
Oh, okay.
updating your resume, and networking with people in that field.
So I'm aligning my actions with my desired reality. It's like I'm sending a clear signal to the universe, this is what I want and I'm ready for it.
Exactly. Remember, the universe responds to your energy, so the more you can embody the feeling of already having what you want, the faster it will manifest in your physical reality.
Okay, this is all starting to make so much sense.
Oh.
But what about those times when doubt creeps in? It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results.
Remember that doubt is just a thought. It has no power over you unless you give it power. When those thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment, and then gently redirect your focus to your desired feelings.
So I don't need to fight the doubt. I just need to choose a different focus.
Exactly. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice choosing those positive emotions, the stronger you become.
That's such a powerful reminder. So as we wrap up this incredible deep dive, what's the most important takeaway for our listeners?
The most important thing is to remember that you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a powerful creator with the ability to shape your reality through your thoughts, feelings, and actions.
That's so empowering. So if I'm feeling stuck or unhappy with my life, I don't wait for things to change. I can start changing my internal state right now.
Absolutely. The power to transform your life is within you. Start by cultivating gratitude,
Okay.
practicing mental rehearsal, and choosing to focus on the feelings you want to
I
experience.
love that. Feel it until it manifests.
Exactly. And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never stop believing in the power of your own consciousness.
This has been an incredible conversation. I feel like I've been given a whole new set of tools to create the life I've always wanted.
It's been my pleasure to share these insights with you. And remember, the real magic begins when you start applying what you've learned.
That's it for our deep dive into personal transformation and quantum physics. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration as much as we have. If you're ready to start creating a reality that truly reflects your highest potential, we encourage you to take action. Start small, be consistent, and never stop believing in the power of your own consciousness. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep diving deep. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more mind-expanding content.